Hi, AT from CNC at Home. I want to build a stand for a standard CD, basically something I can just prop it up and it'll hold it in this sort of position. I picked this CD for a couple reasons. A, it's just a standard CD jewel case, and B, Dennis Warner is a friend of mine for many decades, and I did the artwork for this. I took the pictures and I did the artwork for that. So that's why I chose this one. So let's just get a few measurements and sketch something up here. If we take a look at this, the jewel case is approximately 140 millimeters wide and 125-ish high. So what I did is I took those measurements and I sketched up a little thing here. That's I'll go ahead and make this bigger so you can see it. Basically, I'm going to have the main body 10 millimeters wide. I'm going to be making this out of 3 millimeter craft plywood. I'm going to start with a height of 120 millimeters, and so the height is from the shelf up to the top, and then I want these legs to stick out. The inside dimension is going to basically be about 42 and a half millimeters is what I came up with. I have a little 3 millimeter finger here out on the end. And the total distance then is going to end up being 55 and a quarter. And that's down here. This is doing some trigonometry, doing some math kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and draw this up in LightBurn, send it to the laser, and see how it works. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Now that we're in LightBurn, I wanted to start with the end. This is what we're going after to make our two pieces. Let's go ahead and clear this and I'll show you how I drew that. I had my plans all written out, so I have the dimensions for everything I need. I'm going to start out by drawing some rectangles and then just assigning dimensions to them. Let's make this line so we can see that a little better. And I need the size of this to be 10 millimeters wide. Let's get rid of the locking the aspect ratio so I can control both of these. And I need it 120 plus 10 tall. I'll need its Y position all the way down, and its X position is going to be 55 and a half minus the width, which is 10, because I'm going off the lower left-hand corner. So that's where I need that piece. Let's draw another rectangle. Again, I can assign its position or its size. Let me do the size first. It's going to be 10 high, and its width is going to be 55.5. Actually, it doesn't need to be that. And this will be in the lower left-hand corner, so I can just snap it down there. And now what I'm going to do is once I get all these pieces, I'll make sure to select them, and then I'm just going to join them together or union them or whatever. This is welding, I guess is what that option is. So this is the basic L shape. I want to have a little thing out here to grab on. So it's going to be 5 millimeters high and 3 millimeters wide. So again, I'll just draw a little rectangle. Yeah, whoa, got it right on the money. 3 width, 5 high, and its location is going to be X of 0 and Y of 10. That puts it right where I need to. And then I can union those two pieces together. That's my basic profile. Then all I need to do is put some finger joints on the side. And I do that by simply, I've got my height here, which is 130. And so we'll just draw a rectangle. And its width is going to be 3 millimeters, because that's the material thickness. So that's how far the finger joint needs to go in. And its height is going to be 130 divided by 3. Which gives me kind of an odd, no, not 3. So what do I want? 1, 2, 3 by 4. Let's try that again. 130 divided by 4. Okay, so 32 and a half. So we can take this one and position it where its Y position is 0 and its X position is going to be our 55.5 minus 3, gets us right where we need to go. And I'm going to press Control D to duplicate that, and then take the Y position, and I'm going to add 32.5 times 2. And that gets me the finger joint up here. And then what I can do is I can subtract that. So I'm going to do a Shift Select, come over here and choose my subtract. And then select this one. Yeah, okay, fine. Select this one and subtract that one as well. So that's the basic shape I want for my right-hand side. Now my left-hand side is just going to be a mirror of this, except the finger joints are going to be different. So let me do this real quick. Let me just back up. How far do we need to go? There we go. We'll take this and we will duplicate it. And then we will mirror that. And move it over in the X position, 55.5. Oh, my brain was thinking I could undo all of that and put the finger joints back in. Let's just do that real quick. All right, now I've got the finger joints on the left piece. What I'm going to do is take my right piece and move it back 3 millimeters. So minus 3, so it overlaps. And then quick make a duplicate of this left piece. I'm going to put it on the blue layer and then hide it real quickly. And then what I'm going to, this is going to kind of the weird step. I'm going to select my right piece, shift select my left piece, and subtract it. That leaves essentially a mirrored image. If I turn on my duplicate, you'll see how they join in just nicely. And then I can go ahead and put this on my black layer so they'll burn at the same time. So these will burn, and then the laser kerf width will be essentially the fitment on that. So it won't be a really tight fit. And under under my optimization settings, remove overlapping lines. I'll turn that on. When it goes to burn this, it will only burn this line twice. So the shared line between the two parts will only get burned once. So that'll make the burn a little bit faster. I want to put a little decoration on the bottom here. And an idea that I had to make this simple was to throw a heart on there. Grab this heart, we'll put it on here, and I will do a trace edge. So we just get an outline of that. And then we'll just shrink it up a little bit. We'll move it down here. I'm going to shrink it up a little bit more. Essentially, I just want to have those curves on here. Something like that. So I want to have it come off so this middle piece has a flat spot. If we zoom in, you'll end up having a flat spot. So yeah, something like that. So then let's duplicate that. Duplicate. And we'll just slide it over. And I'll position it. There. Looks good enough. Then I can just subtract that from my image or from my stand. There. That's what I'm looking for. Easy peasy. Let's go ahead and go into the material settings. We've got plywood. I'm going to cut through. So we'll just take the cut through parameters and assign it up here. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and send that to the laser. Now that the pieces are out of the laser, I'm going to use some wood glue and glue these finger joints together. Just go through that real quickly. Once they're glued, then I will put them together, and I like using a little bit of masking tape as a clamp to hold it in position while the glue dries. With the masking tape clamps in place, this should hold together well while it dries. Everything looks good, so I'll just set it here and let it cure for about 20 minutes or a day or something. With the stand all glued together, let's go ahead and put the CD on here and see how it works. Yeah, not too bad. It's a little tipsy here though, meaning I didn't have these legs come out far enough, so these need to be longer, and this really doesn't need to be quite that high. You can see here it's almost the full height of the CD. We don't really need that. So let's make a little change to this. I'm going to shrink this by 10 millimeters, and I'm going to lengthen each of these legs by 10 millimeters. That should let me tip the CD back just a little bit more. It should work really well. Let's do that and see how it works. Here's the original stand, and here's the new stand. So as you can see, the leg is longer. So this is 10 millimeters longer. And on the height, I made this new one 10 millimeters shorter. Let's throw the CD on here and see how that works. Pretty good. Not nearly as unstable. It's not too wide out in front. Seems deep enough. Potentially this could go a little shorter. Potentially these could go a little longer. I like these dimensions. Seems to work well. I hope you like this project. If you did, think about giving the old thumbs up. That helps us out. If you like the content of our channel, think about subscribing, as that really helps us out. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects. And if you're interested in Dennis Warner and hearing some of his music, I will put some links down in the description for that.
Oops.